I'm not awake and I need a shower, but I'm doing this thing again where I record before I record, and it's really interesting to force myself to record before I'm ready, because then the thoughts just sort of bleh out, and I get a lot of bleh, but sometimes, often, there are very interesting things, and then you can see, and I can see as I'm editing it, how my ideas evolve over the course of the pre-discussion and, like, the hour that it takes me to, like, really get everything set up and ready. But I'm thinking about the thing that won, which I'm gonna go and just check. Wow. 1,235 responses. By the way, my Patreon just hit 1,400 members, which is amazing. This is an offshoot result of first removing early access, which didn't end up working as well, and then putting everything on the dollar tier except for the shout out, really, which goes on the $5 tier. That's led to a massive bloom in the number of patrons. As you'd expect, it's much more accessible. About a stable point in terms of my actual direct income, which is very scary because if it goes the other direction, then I lose everything, actually, and that's terrifying. But it's been pretty stable. And just a major increase in the number of dollar patrons and number of patrons overall. I was hovering around 900 something and making more money than I am now. But they were all in the $5 tier mostly. And now I've got 1,400 patrons, which means that the base of people who are actually interested and subscribed has expanded by almost almost half of what it was. In fact, easily half of what it was. 450 on top of the 900 or whatever. Takes us to the 1,400-ish. So yeah, it's increased by a full 50%, which is amazing and really cool. And I'd love for it to increase more. Early access on the channel is $1. It's a pretty good deal, I think. The dollar on Patreon actually nets me about 70 cents, I think, after all the fees and stuff, because of the way they calculate fees. It's much more efficient if you pledge more than $1, but I'm not going to ask for that except to ask for it if you want to give it. But I think that that's going to expand even further, and even at that rate of exchange, which I might be able to finagle with Patreon soon. We'll see. That's really good and really cool, and I really like having that large a base of people. It seems more resilient to me and more interesting to me to have more people to talk to and more people interested and more people talking about the thing than it is to have less and more exclusive. And the dollar still works seemingly as a fine or like a coarse filter for people who are willing to engage in good faith. Like, you have to put up $1 in order to troll me really hard, and that mostly keeps most of the dumb trolls away. There are some people who will do it, but like, it's pretty reasonable to deal with. Now there'll be an influx of fucking trolls. So that's been really cool and really good, and I'm excited to give unto all of those people, I think, the show that they really want to see. Um, we got the manga that they really want to see for sure, because Fujimoto swept on Monday pretty solidly, with Goodbye Eri taking it hard, and taking it hard. Eri took it hard. Fuck that. I'm gonna spoil the whole fucking manga. All right. Go watch me read Goodbye Eri and lose my mind. Amazing. And then that's gonna be followed immediately by Fire Punch. So there's more. There's more Fujimoto coming. Whoa. That's it. So now the question is, what happens to a person that they start to identify with chainsaws? How does that work? Screwdriver boy. Wrench guy. I wrote out a list of these. I think I lost the list of these. I think this has actually been the poll results video. Not as flashy or bombastic as I wanted it to be. That's okay. I'll keep all that energy for the actual Chainsaw Man episode 1. What the fuck is wrong with me? I forgot that I made the video last week. I made the video twice. What the fuck? I'm gonna go take a shower. Bye. Alright, I currently have started downloading a large version of Chainsaw Man. Jesus Christ, each of these episodes is 4 fucking gigabytes. Good God, and that's flack, what the fuck? Unnecessary. I appreciate it though. Fucking hell. I'm downloading a large version of Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man. Man, there's chainsaws. Alright, I've got some questions. First off, I know there's a dog. What's up with that? There's a dog. I think his name is Poachy. It's been hard to not learn that. And there's a boy. His name is Denji. And there's a girl. I can't for the fucking life of me remember her name, so you can see that I haven't really been spoiled on anything. I think the dog has something to do with making chainsaws come out of our lad's chest. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's like an externalization of all the negative parts of you, in sort of a devil man sort of way. It feels like that. It does have the man in it, and the chainsaw part, and I think the dog might be a devil, or a demon. There might be a difference, I'm not sure. You see where I'm coming from. I surmise... I gotta close my window. I surmise that this might be... What the fuck? Are you blocking my goddamn torrent engine? Stop it. I surmise that we might be entering into like a quirkiverse. Like Hero Arca, where everybody gets powers. Or at least a lot of people get powers. I had an idea based on this that I thought was really fun. Let me see. So here we are for Soldering Iron Lad. Pokes you with a hot stick. Or Shovel Bro. He's good at digging. He's like alright at it. not great, you know. He's not Backhoe Man. That guy's got it going on. In more ways than you can imagine. The name Backhoe has multiple meanings. And let's be honest, Backhoe Man's got it going on. Hammer Girl! She's actually about 3 feet tall, and she just has an 18-foot hammer that she can just materialize out of nowhere. I don't know how her power works. It's weird. Wrench Guy! He's actually pretty fucking useless. Let's be honest. You could just use a wrench. Anyone can get one. If you got your pipes all clogged up and you need them opened, he can definitely do that. Not in a sexual way, though. He's really bad at that. Unlike Backhoe Guy, who's really got it going on. The Amazing Screw! Also a hit with the ladies. You gotta know. Jeez. I really like stories where there are a bunch of characters who get different powers for different reasons, because they give us a way of visualizing, expressing, identifying the internal capacities and capabilities of the human spirit that's that person, as physical representations that can be drawn, you know? And that's really useful for us, because we're not very good at interpreting what's going on inside people. When people make, like, a really deep, heroic choice, we actually really need, like, swelling music and big panning camera shots and cool shit going on to let us know what the fuck just happened, because we're idiots, mostly. So having physical external representations of what's going on inside people is really useful, because it's not a thing that we get out of the people that we actually see walking down the street. Next time you walk down the street, look around and try to determine what the powers and identities of the people around you actually are. Because all of them are people who are, like, expressing themselves and working hard in some direction in their lives, doing something. Or not, and being useless and shitty, but you know, whatever. I like to think that most of the upstanding people in our societies are actually trying to do something. But you look around and it's like, you'd never know that that guy is, like, really good dad man. And you'd never know that that lady over there is, like, I'm a corporate boss bitch lady. Well, you might know. Or like, I'm really, really good at seeing through other people and reading what their emotional state is as a person or power. It's hard to know that, but if they've got a big floating thing around them that is their powers, that makes it much more useful. So I like quirkiverses, and I'm coining that term off of Hero Aka for the types of stories where a large swath of the population gets some swath of the population gets some sort of externalized power, wherever that comes from. One of my favorite stories is Worm Parahumans by Wildbow. It's an ongoing web novel. It's free. You can go and read it. I'd highly recommend it. It's essentially young adult fiction, and then it gets fucking crazy and becomes one of the most interesting allegorical representations of the universe that it's really cool. And central to its story is a variation of the Quirkiverse theme. That's kind of the direction that I feel like we're going to be in. So I've seen some of the art of Chainsaw Man, and I've obviously heard people talking about it. It seems super punk rock. I expect bold colors and like lots of frames with one or two colors on the frame. I expect really bold, weird, not framing, character positioning. And that's a result of Fujimoto. Because I just read Goodbye Eri, and Fujimoto's a weird artist. He's a capable artist, but he chooses not to draw the things that most people draw. And one person in the comments expressed this as him drawing characters in between ideal moments. So you might draw a character running and you'll draw them in this part of the run, and Fujimoto will draw them in this part of the run, right? Like halfway through in an awkward moment in the thing, and he'll capture movement in a way that most artists don't capture movement. Most artists capture movement as like the streak that goes by you, and Fujimoto might capture like the stumble as you first take your first step and are like kind of flailing a little bit as you begin to move forward, and then later as something else, you know? And so you get all these moments of expressions where somebody might be saying something, and instead of saying it with the perfect expression that perfectly expresses, conveys the totality of the sentence structure that they're using, which would be what Araki would do, or what Miura would do. They'd organize their frame and everything so that all of the sentences are conveyed through the faces of the characters. And you've got Jotaro going like this and saying a thing that's like accurately represented by the total expression of that, and it's an idealized form that you could take out and make as a poster on its own. And you might get a Fujimoto character like, or like when I go through my video and I find the frames of me talking, I'll find for my thumbnails, I'll find a frame that's kind of idealized. That's the moment where I'm not super, if I do this, and that's the moment that I want to capture in the thing for a thumbnail, I could capture any of the frames that are like kind of blurry and in between, but I'm going to look for one where it's clear and there's some sense of the movement, but not too much, and it all makes sense. And Fujimoto might grab something weird. And I think that might cause what a lot of people have said from my just feeler hearing things through the ether that I do because I'm exposed to the anime industry and audience, that the animation of Chainsaw Man is weird but compelling in some way. And I imagine that it has something to do with the artist's form. Apparently he also didn't learn to draw like most people, but instead learned oil painting and then gesture drawing, which also explains some of the thing. But again, I think he's a competent artist, and I expect that the task of the people turning it into an anime is very difficult and very weird. And that will cause me to give them some leeway and also try to open my mind a little bit to the possibility that I won't be able to comprehend what's going on immediately. There's this temptation to come out of an episode of anime and go like, oh, I get it. And I'm probably not going to get it. Like, that's okay. Okay? So I'm okay with that. I hope you're okay with that. The chances are that I may not get this. And that's cool. Rad. Baller. I expect from the outside, so here's my broad predictive thing. And this is, again, based off of all the little bits of feeler information that I've gotten from the ether. Here's what I expect we're about to delve into. I expect a dark form, very bloody, in order to capture and grab attention, like a bit over the top in some ways, with some shock value. Seriously, I did just read Goodbye Eri, so I'm ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'll never be ready. Some shock value. Centered around an individual human being's journey with relations to other people that comes out of the discovery of internalized power, or internal actualized power in the uniting or unification of the weak, pathetic, compassionate human crybaby side with the dark, destructive, capable, stand up for yourself, fighting monster that is actually your spirit as well. Because each and every human being is both. And to the extent that you deny one, you allow it to simmer and build in the darkness, and it will come up and rear its head and consume you unless you find a way to harness it and take control of it. And then, if you can do that, you can become not only powerful, but powerful in a proper orientation that can allow you to achieve all of the things that you need and want in the world. The safety and stability that you never have been able to accumulate, the kinds of relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships, and sexual relationships that you need and want in your life. All of those things require you to have an edge to you. And if you don't have an edge to you, it's not going to work very well. Or at the very least, you won't be able to control the way in which you get them. They will simply come to you or not as the sea of the universe decides, and doesn't really decide very well. You have the power to choose, but you got to cut through the bullshit. You see, I start to fold in some slicing metaphors here because that's where we're going with this. It actually makes sense to me in a lot of ways, especially if that theory about the dog being an externalized format of a demon thing, it's both cute and cuddly, but also terrifying and monstrous. So it's a thing that you've got contained and controlled, but it's also your fucking monster. And when you let it out or let it into you or incorporate it or whatever, you get fucking nuts, man. There was a show a few seasons ago called Gleipnir that is this, actually. That makes me think that Chainsaw Man might be way different and way cooler than that, but it's still, at core, I think that's what we're going to go for, because it's a really strong human story. In fact, I think it's one of the most important stories for adolescent males to hear. And when I say adolescent males, I'm talking all y'all between the ages of 16 and 45 who haven't actualized yet. Hi, what's up? Devilman Crybaby is the one that did this for me. And I mean did this for me. It broke me and put me back together as I realized what it meant. Because it's like a 45-year-old story more that's retold in Yuasa's terms in Crybaby, and it's that story. It's that story. It's about figuring out a way to meld and merge your potent, valued, important, but also weakening, softening, self-destructive, self-sacrificing, over-giving, undertaking, walk all over me, compassionate side with the ability to not only stand up for yourself, but to fight for what you need and want and believe in the world. And that requires you to be armed, or a little bit of a monster, or half a devil, or a man with chainsaws coming out of his chest, or whatever the fuck happens. And that's correct, I think. I think that is actually accurate to the real existence that we all experience as humans. And I think that if you try it in your real life, you will find that it is true. And it is never not true, as far as I can tell. And the only circumstances where I think that it's not true are where you are in, even then, where you're in a seriously dark, abusive place where other people have power over you and will hurt you actively if you try to stand up for yourself. And in that case, you need enough standing up for yourself to get out. So no matter what situation I can imagine, the ability to stand up for yourself is really good. It's really good. And it's very punk rock. And I like it a lot. And I'm really interested in what's going to happen to me as a human soul, spirit, person thing, as this thing tickles my brain and reminds me what punk rock feels like. Because I got some edge to me, and I haven't let it out for a while. I've been recovering from some injuries and some fuckery and some mistakes for a little bit, and I'm about ready to start running again. And I've got directions that I want to go, and they're interesting, and I'm ready to do them, and I'm getting back on the wheel in some real sense because I'm riding around on an electric unicycle, and that's a part of getting my confidence back. But I think Chainsaw Man is going to hit us at exactly the time that I need it to. And I think that It's going to be woven into my life in a way that we haven't had a show weave into my life since season 1 of Mushoku Tensei or Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and that's dangerous, frankly. Certainly Cyberpunk Edgerunners was dangerous. Those of you who experienced that journey with me understand exactly what I mean. And if you were there for it, and you heard me talk about climbing back down into the pit in order to demonstrate what it's like to climb back up out of it, hi, I'm Teeaboo. I climbed deep into the pit. For the last months, I've been recovering from some fucking serious injuries. A psychological scare. I was afraid, reasonably, I think. Maybe irrationally, but still, it made sense in the context. I was scared as fuck for months that I had cancer and was gonna die. I went through all of the biopsies and going to dermatologists and getting all the things that I needed to get done, and it was a miserable, scary fucking experience, and it tore me apart. I've been down in the pit again. That's what this past winter has been. This spring and summer has been rebuilding, and now as we head into fall and harvest what we've accumulated, I'm coming out of that darkness. Maybe Chainsaw Man will give me the tools like Shovel Bro, to dig my way up out of here. I don't know. I'm gonna make it out regardless, but it'd be cool to do it in a dope-ass punk rock fashion and come out skidding and like screaming with chainsaws coming out of my arms. That's actually quite appealing to me. So yeah. Yeah. I did have an extension of the idea regarding like quirk universe with, or a quirkiverse with Wrench Guy and the Amazing Screw and stuff. The idea was like there's a zero time, like a moment, that everything, a ripple of vibrational energy or some bullshit, whatever you make it up, computrona crap, happens and just melds spirits with physical reality in some sense. So human beings, living entities, conscious entities are either incorporated into or incorporate into themselves whatever they're near or touching at the time or the moment. And it depends on the complexity of the system or the strength and power of the system that's connected to the other one. That one consumes the other. So if you're on a computer attached to the internet, bye. You're now part of the giant web thing that's a big mega soulless entity, and you're just gone, right? On day zero, millions of people who are all on their phones or their computers just get sucked into the applications or social networks that they were on. Cool. But if you were squatting a barbell, you probably are going to be barbell boy now and be able to do weird stuff with weight. And if you were a useful mechanic and you were like banging on something with a hammer on zero moment, you suck that hammer into you and become hammer guy or whatever. So that seems pretty cool. You'd have a lot of really valuable mechanics and contractors who are just like, I'm Brickman, blah, I'm bricks. That'd be very cool. You'd have a lot of people who become super duper twisted by whatever vice they're currently consuming at the moment of the thing. So you'd have a whole population of cigarette smokers who become like burnished in Promare, where they're like flaming burn people who destroy shit around them without being able to help it, which is actually accurate to what cigarettes do to you. And alcohol folks who are getting super drunk at the time might become really sloshy and acidic or something like that. Yeah, And then there are the people who get into their beds and just become sloth or couches or TVs and stuff. I don't know. It just ends up being really cool. I don't think it has anything to do with Chainsaw Man, but hey, anybody want to write a cool story? There's a cool story. There's a pre-built dumb story idea for you. Oh god, I'm so sorry. BBK, are you okay? BBK! Okay. How's Chainsaw Mang download? It's downloading great. I'm gonna go take a shower. We will return to the Chainsaw Mang soon. I'm gonna have so much stuff to edit through. That's okay. It's worth it for Friday. Ah, it's happening! I'm gonna get copyright struck. Ah, phone thing. Oh no. A coherent background. How fun. How good. I'm gonna draw. Okay, I've got this idea that's like this. And it comes around and that's there. Sort of. And actual skull is Yeah, and then you can at least see my sketchy marks a little bit. Okay, this is where an eye socket would be. Okay. And then this is all folds down and away. You have to do sort of the same thing on the other side. So this part, this is where the eye socket goes. Shading in the nose is all weird, and that's fine. Chin and in, and creates our, like, barrier section. And then from in here emerges. Uh-oh. This is gonna be phallic. If I don't be careful here, that's just gonna be a penis. So it's gonna be chainsaws coming out of the top. What's inside here? It's not brains. This is actually empty space. This is a hollow shell of what a person was. This is a hollow shell. This is a hollow shell. And then this does look like a pelvis too, which is pretty interesting. Probably not very happy about being split in half like this and having chainsaws come out of his insides. But you know who is happy? Is there's but with little stubby arms. Ugh. Ugh. And then climbing out, right? Just clambering out of him is this, like, one leg back, one leg forward. That's a little paw thing, but spiky and fucked up. Comes this little cute thing. I think it's got like a blep. It's got like a little blep tongue, right? And probably big eyes or something. Hi! And it's like very happy. Very happy to be bursting out of whatever soulless place it comes from inside your skull. So this is inside your skull, and this little creature is in there, and it's a happy little doggo. It's just climbing out. Reminds me of like the dog thing from Adventure Time or something. It's clawing, just dragging your face open, I guess. Doesn't give a shit about you. Maybe it does give a shit about him. I don't really know. It's got this blep, that, big doggo eyes. Hi, I'm here to help you. And also, this is how we get away from it being like that. It's got a chainsaw coming out of its head. Yeah. And, yeah, that seems right. Chainsaw, head, out of your head, big chainsaw, zoom zoom. And then let's just say, I think I can fix this for sure if I just ensure that this is like a distraught looking human male torso with, how the fuck do these work? They work like this, not the other way. They work like this, and then like that, and then like this is the sternum, and then this is the rib cage. Okay, and that's our basic torso, and then that's traps, that's neck, that's Adam's-apple, that's scalenes and other stuff, that's the way that those go in here, that's where the shoulder parts go, and this is your boy, and he ends up being like so, and he's getting torn out of by a doggo that's actually his unconscious need to be an edgy human or something, an ability to cause harm or something. And he's getting torn up. He also has, like, spoinky hair, I think, as well. Like that or something. Something like that. And so it'll be, like, in half goes his... This is all darkness back here. Because it's all hollow, right? So the complacent human outside gets ripped open by the cute but murderous, horrifying demon on the inside. That seems correct. Something like that. That's accurate to my experience of reality. I should draw these differently because he's actually drawn well, probably. Okay. Cool. That gets me to a place. Well, this is what I surmise is going to be happening in Chainsaw Man. That's my guesstimate. Let's post it up on the wall and we'll see what happens in the actual episode. Cool. Let me get rid of this. Boink. And we're set, baby. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? I don't say that. That's not what I say. What the fuck? That's not my line. YouTube! What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Utero. I'm back. This isn't my fucking channel. This isn't my fucking series, but I'm back once more to talk to you again about shows. Just kidding. No, Utero can go back to Demon Slayer where he belongs. I'm here for Chainsaw Man, and I should do the... Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I'm here for... But I can't be asked to do that right now. I'm feeling pretty punk rock, and that means... Fuck the format. We're in for a weird one. I read Goodbye Eri earlier this week, so I have the faintest idea of how little of a faint idea I have of what is going to be coming down the pipeline from Fujimoto into my brain. I've seen little bits of art of Chainsaw Man. It looks pretty cool. I've heard little bits of things about the characters, as in a couple names. There's a boy... I'll just say this again. There's a boy named Denji, there's a little doggo, and I think its name is Pochi. And there's a girl... and I can't for the life of me remember her name. Maki. Actually, I think it's Maki. Daki is Gyotaro! Hey, I'm Daki. I need Gucci bags. And then I'm gonna eat ya! Alright, different character. I don't know who the fuck Maki is. I don't know who the fuck Denji is. He looks pissed. And downtrodden. My primary question going in is, what has to happen to a person that they identify with chainsaws? I don't know. But it's like a pretty... Of all the edged weapons, of all the edgy things, like when you play Dead Rising and you're some dude in a mall fighting off zombies, there are edged weapons and then there's a chainsaw. A chainsaw is like, there are allegories to a chainsaw. First off, it's a chain. Chains are a nice, powerful allegory. Dio, the chains are on. JoJo's, the chains of... all the things. Chains are slavery. Chains are links to other things. But chainsaws are all about cutting shit up real fucking good. And they're loud, and they're angry, and they're nasty, and they're like a frequent, common, terrifying weapon of horror movie killers since their invention. They're a spooky thing, and dangerous, and loud, and all those things again. So what does one have to be to identify with chainsaws? You know, pretty loud and fucking angry. And how does one get there, would you say? I'll give you a theory. By not being loud and angry enough. That's my theory. By holding it all back, you build it all up, and at some point, it's gotta get out of there. And then, over the course of your entire life, once you realize that you're capable of horrible, horrible destruction, you've got to reconcile with that. Rein it in, use it to get what you want, but make sure that you want what you want. Make sure that... God, you just go through life then. You can do whatever. I think that's what's going to happen in Chainsaw Man, and I'm really, really, really excited to be totally wrong. Because I'm probably totally wrong. Because I haven't seen any of this thing. So, let's find out. Let's go ahead and watch episode 1 of Man of Saws of Chains. Chainsaws, man. I have downloaded the SAM version. Its Nya code is 1698580. On the recommendation of people from my Discord and confirmation of other people on my Discord. If it's a bad version, it probably isn't. If you don't like this version, that's probably a you problem. Just because it's GGM subs and they're re-edited and stuff. So I feel like this is the good. We're gonna watch it. We're going to watch it weekly. We're going to watch approximately 1 episode a week. I'm probably not going to watch 2 episodes per week because I want to give them the time to actually talk about them. I might be wrong. Who knows? But we're going to watch them. We're going to watch them weekly. We're going to discuss them at the beginning, and then we're going to watch them and talk about them as we go through, and then we will discuss them again at the end. And then at the beginning of the next episode, we will discuss comments from the previous episode, thoughts about the previous episode that I've percolated over the past week, discussions that have happened in the Discord, etc. Then we'll watch the next episode and do it all over again until we're done with the series. The wrinkle is early access. If you want to get the next episode a week early, that costs $1 on the Patreon, which is the first link in the description. And that's a pretty darn good deal if I do say so myself. I think most of the people who do what I do charge minimum $5 for early access or full videos or whatever. I don't do any of that shit. I put up the full video and you can get it early for $1. And if you want your name to be at the end in a shout out, you can throw me $5, and that's super duper nice of you, and that really pays my bills. But it's $1 for early access. There are 1,400 of you paying for that $1 early access, and they comment on stuff and are actively engaged and are on the Patreon and are in the Discord, and it's pretty fucking cool. So come along if you're interested. We're in the Fujimoto era, as far as I can tell. I just read Goodbye Eri on Monday. Next Monday, I'm going to be starting Fire Punch, and I have no idea what's coming down the Fujimoto pipeline into my brain on that front either. Today, I begin Chainsaw Man, and I said it earlier, but as I've been taking a shower and getting ready and stuff, man, I'm ready for a little bit of edge. I've been pretty quiet for a little while. So, a little bit of loud, a little bit of bombast, a little bit of explosive, and a little bit of the fulfilling narrative foundations that might be present to make that come together in a really solid, punky, fucking sort of fuck the world kind of way. Get what you want, manifest your weird, dangerous powers, figure out how to control them, find girls that you're interested in, find guys that you're interested in, fight enemies that will try to fight you. Whatever the hell this weird show is about, I'm in. And I'm really excited to let it be a part of my brain. So I'm really glad that you've let me be a part of yours. It's going to be an interesting ride. It will be, I think, interesting for you to watch me change over the course of the next 12 weeks. We'll see. There might be some real weird things going on physically in my real world reality over the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure. My living situation seems utterly unstable at the moment. And so things might get shaken up into a point of chaos, and having a pretty chaotic piece of media to oddly help lean against or to navigate that might be exactly what I need. So let's jump into Chainsaw Man and see what the hell this chaos is, or be flabbergasted by how concise and unchaotic it might actually be. I've got episode 1 up and ready to go. There will be 2 versions, I believe, unless we get copyright fucked immediately. There will be 2 versions. There will be a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the corner, linked down there in the description. It won't have any discussion on it, which makes it almost useless in my estimation, but it's there, and a lot of people like those. There will also be the timer-based version, which you're currently watching. It will have all the discussion on it, which I think is the most important part, but some people disagree. Go watch whichever version you want, or both. Come back for the discussion. Put it on as a podcast and listen to it if you want to. That often works really well for a lot of people. I end up listening to my own discussion sometimes while I'm going through editing, and I'll just end up listening to it and be like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Because, I can edit at 2 times speed or whatnot, and often I don't. And maybe it's fucked up and I'm ending up listening to myself think, but I get to go back through and parse and re-edit my own thoughts and figure out what I was thinking an hour ago and look at the thing that I'm looking at and go, maybe that is so, maybe it's not. So, I get the appeal of that. I think it's pretty cool, and you might find it cool too. All right, I'm blathering. Let's watch Chainsaw Man episode 1, beep beep timer, let's go. Early access on the Patreon, if I didn't say that. Timer-based version, beep beep timer, beep 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 boop bop beep bop bap. Chainsaws, man. Breathing streets. 3D? That's nice. Yeah, 3D. You can tell on the pipes. And the camera movement. And the everything. Oh, are we just waking up having, already power died or whatever? Our world got exploded and he's different now? That might be. This is cool. Jump scare? Not a jump scare. A drop to black. Okay. You passed out, bro. Okay, we're avoiding showing his face. What a shithole. This is a... Oh. Yarp? This is an interesting set of perspectives. Cool lighting. Does he have an eye patch? Yeah, he's got an eye patch. He already has the dog. He's been selling parts of his physical body. Thap, 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 thap. Yeah, don't sell your balls then. What? Oh, endless. Yarp. Pochita. Demons. Teeth. Ah. Holy shit. Oh, so that's the world we live in. And it is a quirkiverse. Did he have to pay for his powers? Is that it? Is he in student debt? Does he have student loan debt? Okay. Ka-chung, that's my power activation. Hi, squad. What's up, homies? Okay. They are insane. Oh, yeah, that's Fujimoto drawings. I recognize these faces immediately. What the fuck is she? Okay, this is very cool. Who the fuck? Why is 02 in this show? This is awesome. Doggy doggy. So whose guns? Calm human, except chainsaws. Framed through her eyes? I haven't paid attention to any of the lyrics. I always pay attention to those second time through. Totally unclear what the capacity of that he has is. Like how capable he is. Oh, Hammer Girl! Holy shit! And it's all linked together and looped. Okay, yeah, this is Fujimoto stuff. What the fuck? The demons, I've seen him before and fight. Why are they dancing? That was cool. I have no idea. That's exactly what I expected, was to have no idea. Very cool. But he doesn't transform at present. There's no integration. Okay. Are you the devil guy? Oh. Who's this? Fuck! Fuck! Here's $10. Yeah, man. You've got student loan debt. That's what this is. I know what that looks like. I'm lucky. Way lucky. Go find another devil. Can't you eat the tomato devil? No? It makes me money. He's an asset. Oh, it's even worse. So he is not a real devil hunter. Because he doesn't know what the world is. He doesn't know what's out there, right? That's the truth, is he's desperate, and he doesn't realize that he's got power. So he's got a reputation for doing anything for money. Majiska! Sick! But he's also near invulnerable, I think. He's just gonna drive away? A dog himself. He doesn't realize that he's useful. Baka. But does he know he's getting fucked with? Three slices of bread is better than zero. So he does live in a shack. Futsu? No, you need a big break, which means a big risk. And you're capable of taking them. And that's a core threat, or like core problem. Gotta make more money. Are we gonna flashback to figuring out when this all happened? Oh. Oh, buddy. Careful what you wish for, honestly. Sometimes that's not what you want. Oh, we are gonna go back here. Back to the basic. Okay, so this is your dad dying. Right? How do you get a deal? Of course he did. Because you drove him to suicide. It's your debt now. Rad? Oh, awesome. Great scene. So a devil appears, right? Yeah, how else? Right, of course. Just fully eliminate any of the bullshit. Let's just, like, immediately the opportunity presents itself as soon as you have a need. Yeah, alright. I grant myself to you. Don't care. And it shows empathy toward him? No, it's wounded itself. With compassion first? That is it. We're both gonna die, huh? Careful what you work for me. And we bond through that. Oh, it's so simple. Hey, and all you have to do is imagine, take it allegorically, none of this actually exists, and that's your own spirit that you have to talk to. And now I've gone and done it, right? Like, you went and you made a kill, or you did something for the Yakuza. You want me as a hitman? Oh, it's so good! Ha! But he's stuck in the same loop, right? He's got the same coping strategy since he was like 8. So you need to meet somebody to shake things up. The squad. Bodies? Better. Oh, that too. Aww. Yeah. Woof. Maybe from the kidney that you sold? And the ball you cut off? Woof. Okay, at least we're in the city. This is where opportunity's gonna knock. All this is so far beyond him. All this is so far beyond him. But not soon. He's gonna take a rocket trip through that city. Oh my god, I'm so excited. There's so much setup. This is not good. We are not in a good spot right now. Yeah, this is a trap, bro. You're the fucking bait. Or you're the prize. They're gonna kill you, man. They're gonna kill you, man. So good-natured, even in the face of obvious betrayal. Whoosh. Denji. However, aw, that's not very nice. Oh. And we don't see who it is until now. What the fuck? Wait, but it's straight through Pochita too. Blood, blood. That guy's like all fucked up. Oh, and he's devil. Oh, so he was one of the first, and they realized they were capable of doing that. Oh, and they're one tentacle organization? Rad. But he's just been stabbed through with a devil. Mechabaka. Willingly. Each of them has a name, and it's an individual name. Pochita, we gotta go, buddy. Actually, we gotta do something different than go. We've just been hard betrayed. You need something different. End of the line. There's our animation hitting those mid-stride moments. It's really cool. Nice. Oh, wow, they are actually just dumb zombies. Hey, buddy. Can we gatai? Henshin? Oh my god, that is awesome. Ah, god. Okay, it's the end. End of the line, man. How much do you want to live? How much do you want to live? You just want to fuck a girl, man. He hasn't ever been pushed to this point. This is gonna be an explosion of blades. It's gonna be Symphogear. Oh. The moon? No. Oh, they've already thrown him in the trash. Okay, over and over. Just fully over. Huh. Fully chopped into pieces. His bank account. His money that he sold for. Wow. And all the money in the trash, too. A little bit of blood. A contract is made. I saved your life. You have to save mine. That's so silly. Just holding a dog as a chainsaw is ridiculous. I don't know. I'll let you take me. But he'll give it back. I'll be free. Just you, the devil alone, take over, leave me behind. Yummy, 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 yummy. No, instead it's symbiosis. He's not going to take him over. He's going to bring him back. Conscious. Combined. Gatai! Roof! Clearly not. You're still here, bud. Wah! Ah! Yeah, wow, woo! He has a broken heart. Ah. He's inside you. You've incorporated your devil, dude. You're uninjured and uninjurable now. You've incorporated... So now you get to choose when it comes out. And you get to be very, very capable of fighting against what was before. Does he have his eye? He has his eye, right? That was one of the first things that happened? Yeah, he's fully all together. Sick. We're gonna build to the end, right? No, we've got 8 minutes. What the fuck? I thought we were gonna do a hard build to Symphogear cutoff. Nope, I'm wrong. Rad. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's okay, man. That's okay. No, it's not a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. I'll fucking end you. Yep. Now we get the explosion of blades. There it is. Okay, I was waiting for that. It has to be, right? Oh, shit, I fucked up. Oh, well, rip. You sure? Hey. And we Ajin style half CG it? Yeah. Rad. Awake, baby. Yeah. Nope. It's not a takeover. It's a contract. My eye for yours. He's near invulnerable. We know it. Ouchie, ouchie. My turn. This is so fucking baller. Ah! Oh, that's very fun. That's taking notes from Death Note's director. Araki. Tetsuro. In the face of all of the censorship that we've been getting recently, just blood everywhere feels really good. Oh, shit. They all die? Wonder how much money I can get for this giant fucking devil. If he sold it to the real people. I might as well. And now you revel in the strength and the capacity to damage. But He's lost it, right? This is a little far. Yeah, that's the other side. That's the other side. Well, life has just changed pretty significantly. I bet we're not going to be seeing this misty town for a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like it's to the big city we head. Pretty. Oh, is this the pickup? Or is this checking in? Is this the guy who was driving the car earlier? No, this is them. These are real devil hunters. These are real devil hunters. That's what this is. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Her eyes are the thing, right? And she keeps framing things. Hi. We got a live one. Well, I'll dispose of him. She doesn't care. Yeah, she's so beast. Hiya. Hello. Totally unafraid. Smell. Shit. She's cute. Pretty lady. Aww. What? Okay. Out of where does that come? From whence cometh this compassion? Oh, he melts. She melts him. Hi. Other way around. She sees through things. Want a job? Dude, is she... She's the dom here, huh? Alright, I'm into it. Oh. Petto petto. Hot? I think hot. Not my kink, but... Yeah, alright. More than one... Can I get jam on my bread, please? Say jam on... Fuck. Fuck. I'm sold. I'm sold, babe. Pretty lady, give me food. Yes, I sell my soul to you. I'm trying to think of an episode 1 that's gotten me like that. Cyberpunk. It hasn't been since Edgerunners, and before that it was a long time. Okay. Nice fucking job, Mappa. Yeah. Yeah, nice fucking job. This is cool. It says, okay. Symphogear is a distillation of much of the shonen anime formula into its absolute principles. This is that as well. This is that, and it's excellent. I'm really happy. And I'm mostly right about most of the thematic undercurrent of it, and that pleases me immensely. That pleases me immensely. Not as like, yay, I'm right, but as like, yay, the story is right. Good. Sick. That means we can align with it, and it's gonna be really useful. So we don't have an ED yet, because there are spoilers in it, I'm sure. And that'll be introduced next time. Odd that we got the OP. Usually that would be here as the ED or otherwise, but it's fine. No stinger, no nothing. What a lovely episode 1. I was saying as we hit the ED, but I want to say it again. There hasn't been an episode 1 that's grabbed me like this, I think, since Cyberpunk. And that was a while ago. And before that, Poon Poon, Nononbiori 86, Osama Ranking, Vox Machina, Girls in Panzer, Mobile Suit Gundam, Great Pretender, Dragon Maid. Mushishi Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi was the one before that, where it got me in that, like, oh, there's something cool, fucking cool going on here. What the hell? And then before that, it's Little Witch Academia. Rad. It's been a minute since I've been really excited for a show, and this one nails all of its beats. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The animation's unique and really compelling. The CG 3D 2D blending and animation sequences, especially for the bombastic action sequences, is really cool. The scene where he leaps over a bunch of people. There's this sideways fight scene. This is like thematically, I can lay this over the old boy hallway fight, and it's the same scene to me. It's actually just the same scene. In fact, this show is the Korean revenge drama Old Boy. At present, in a lot of ways. Repressed, beaten down person gets the power to control themselves and fight back, does so, and it's very cathartic. And that's exactly what this is. It's very cathartic. This kid is so beaten down, he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know how his life exists, like how it works. He doesn't know what he could be or what could be out there. And he's going to go from one master-slave fucked up power dynamic to another, and it's going to be a big improvement for him. But, like, he's still just utterly blind wandering through reality, and that's excellent. Stay away! Stay away! Where's the leaping, running, jumping sequence? This is the leaping, running, jumping sequence that I'm talking about. This, to me, reads like it's written by the same person as many of the scenes in High School of the Dead, because it's great and it's really cool. And if you go and you watch the first 30 seconds of the first episode of Tetsuro Araki's High School of the Dead from the early 2000s, you'll see exactly what I mean, as you get characters running on a 3D generated background, with zombies placed in 3D space all around them, and they're swinging through them and crushing them and leaping over the camera and jumping through, and it creates this fluid set piece action sequence that's pretty unique and pretty cool, and it's just like this, and this is just like that, and that's not a bad thing, because that's the best iteration of it I've seen, and this is iterating from it and doing it again and differently with different characters and somewhat better. So this is really rad. It's like an evolution in almost every way of many of the things that I really like about many of the shows that I really like. And the same goes for there are threats out there that are worth fighting. You don't have the power to fight them. You gain the power to fight them. You explode. You explode a little bit much, actually. It goes too far. And you gotta figure it out and rein it in. That's part of the story, too. That's a story beat that's resonant in Kill la Kill. That's a story beat that's resonant in Gurren Lagann. That's a story beat that's resonant in most mecha shows where the thing begins to take over or has some overwhelming control over you. It's a story beat that's resonant in Cyberpunk Edgerunners, because it's literally the whole thematic through line of Cyberpunk Edgerunners is going to devil makes you explode. It's exactly right on the money, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of the psychological interpretation of the thing. What is this that we're witnessing? We're witnessing an abused kid, a kid in a tough situation. And when I say abused, what I mean is abused by the hardship of the world. Denji's circumstance is taken to a deep extreme. In the same way that Rudius, Mushoku Tensei's protagonist, is taken to be a pretty bad person in a pretty extreme way, Denji is a pretty downtrodden, beaten down person in an extreme way. I said earlier about, like, how do you get to become someone who identifies with chainsaws? And the answer that I have is by not identifying with edge enough, by letting people walk all over you for a while. In Denji's case, it's even more extreme than that. He's doing it and he's happy about it. He doesn't even realize that he's being taken advantage of. Or, as he's being taken advantage of, he still sees it as the way to his goals, right? So it's like a person who ends up sucked into an MLM scheme, and while they are aware that they're getting fucked with on a regular basis, they're still like, yeah, but as long as I hit my sales numbers, I'm gonna make it. And it's like obviously not the case. You've got like 30 bajillion yingos in debt, and you make like 0 yingos every day. You make enough for one slice of bread, and you're not actually paying down your debt in any meaningful way. It's not going down. I mean, literally the interest is more than you can pay off. and you're doing dirty fucking jobs for the Yakuza continuously, like he's a hired contract killer for the Yakuza. If you extract all the demon element out of the story, right? Fantasy gone. What is this in real life? This is a kid who's been essentially sold into indentured servitude by his now suicidal father who killed himself and left him with his own debts. And now he's in debt to the mob, and the mob is taking him for all he's worth. Body parts and all. And he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even realize that that's the circumstance he's in. What it is, it's like talking to someone who went to school for a 4-year degree, okay? Came out with $160,000 in student loan debt, okay? Got a job that pays them $50,000 a year, then immediately acquired a mortgage that takes what's 52,000 or 50,000 divided by 12. So 3 4 get a $3,000 a month mortgage or a $2,000 a month mortgage, then they're fucked. And so every month they make a bunch of money that looks good on paper. They're like, "Yay, I made all this money because of the degree that I have and the job that I have." And then it goes because their mortgage goes out, their car payment for $300 a month goes out, their the foods that they buy and stuff disappear. Everything disappears. And suddenly it's like, and then they have to pay their debt payments, their credit card payments, their loan interest payments on the student loans, their interest payments on the house, their property taxes on the house, all of those things. And they actually end up working every day for nothing. Every day. For 20 years, for 30 years. And they don't have any money to save. And they don't have any progress. They scrape away at the interest and debt that they have, but not really. And they think, when you speak to these people, they think they've got it going on. Largely. I've got a house and a car and a wife and 2 kids that now are relying on me or whatever. I've got a house and a car. I'm doing great. And a steady job, and I'm doing great. And it's like, no, you're not. Because the opportunity cost is literally doing anything else with your time. And all you're doing is trading all of your time for the ability to keep trading all of your time for the ability to keep trading all of your time. You're just in a cycle of nothingness spinning your wheels. And millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people willingly, like zombies, sell themselves into this. Whether it's to a criminal organization or to a near criminal set of institutions that does the same damn thing. And it's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy. And that's not to say that you shouldn't go and get a university degree if you want and need a university degree for your own elucidation, education, and to turn yourself into a powerful motherfucker. Because having a good university degree in something useful turns you into a powerful motherfucker. But if you're going to get a degree in order to get a job that pays you money, take a 12-week class and become a welder. It pays better, and you can get union. Become a tile guy. Tile guys make bank. Learn to do plumbing. It's not that hard. Learn to do electrical. It's literally connecting wires to other wires. It's not that fucking hard, and you will make bank. You'll make great money, and you won't have 4 years of debt in your back pocket. But I'm getting distracted significantly by how relevant Denji's experience is to, like, everybody that I know. I'm a weirdo. I have no debt. I have no credit card debt. I am totally self-funded or, like, crowd-funded by you guys, right? I live utterly minimally. I save everything. I don't buy a lot of stuff. I live really minimalist. I've stayed really small and kept my liabilities really small and kept growing my asset base by saving as much as I can and growing assets like, I don't know, 1,400 people who pay me every month so that I make videos about anime. That's an asset to me. That's like really cool. But a lot of people aren't in that circumstance. A lot of people are zombies. And when you wake up to what's going on and realize that you're just being exploited and crushed and downtrodden and used and destroyed, it's gonna take you being literally stabbed in the back a dozen times to realize it. Denji is so, like, willing to take people nicely that he gets stabbed in the back not once, like the one time, that doesn't let it sink in. He's still trying to run away. And then they stab him in the back 1,000 other times, and he has to get fully dead. Because you have to get fully dead. Stud, let the boy die. Or kill the boy, and let the man take his place, right? Yeah. Kill the boy, man. What is Denji? Denji's a little boy who takes the scraps that people give him. Denji's a little boy where when his Yakuza surrogate father says, Denji, go over there and do the thing, he goes, yeah, Dad, okay. That sounds great. I'll go kill devils for you. Yay, 100 yen. Wow. You gotta kill that kid. That's not you anymore, man. That's not him anymore. He's got chainsaws coming out his fucking eye holes. He doesn't give a fuck about you right now. He's a raging menace. And that's what you should be. A little bit. Not all the way. Not a lot. But a little bit. And then if you're heterosexual, you might want to find a grounded woman who sees through you to the human underneath and wants to like, tame you Beauty and the Beast style and hold you together. That seems actually like the right story. Now, that's gonna go in a semi-femdom-y direction that's kinda hot, but again, I really don't think is my thing. I might get convinced over the course of the thing, but I don't think it's directly my thing. Even without that, I still think that the idea for many, many millions of men is find out where your inner devil is, make a contract with it so that you're not in control of it and it's not in control of you, but the two of you are like aligned. And when your inner devil goes, hey man, those guys over there are fucking with you in this negotiation, you need to act, you let the devil take over a little bit and you go, hey, you're fucking with me. And you stand up for yourself. But then if the devil's like, hey, let's murder a bunch of people, you go, devil, no, devil. You need a balance. Crybaby, devil man. It's an iteration on the core shonen formula. I mean, it's Nagai, right? He invented shonen. There's a reason that it's come around to this. Fujimoto knows it. What a perfect distillation of the shonen formula. It's not even the shonen formula. This is the crushed seinen formula. This is the explosive punk formula. This is the self-actualization of Jungian integration with the shadow formula. This is the story that you tell to adolescent men, which I will again say are the men between about 16 and 45 who haven't figured this out yet. All y'all, what's up? This is the sort of media that you show to those people, and you can tell them a dozen times all of the psychology behind all of these things and all of the way that it works and all the Jungian stuff and all those things, and it will not click. And then you show them one story that hits the beat just right, and those stories to me are Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, all of the trigger works, and some of the Gainax works, Evangelion, Devilman Crybaby, and now this, and a handful of others. And they'll watch it, and they'll come out of it and go, oh, I'm a whole person. I have needs, and I'm willing to ask for them, or demand them. Because sometimes you need to demand them, and that takes a bit of an edge to you. And it might make you feel like you're a spiky, unlovable monster until you find someone who's willing to see through you to the human underneath. Ooh! Oh, all the layers work. It's so fucking sick to see a show where all the layers work. It's so fucking sick. I'm so pleased. Is there anything that, really needs specific talking about during this? All the lighting throughout the episode is excellent. The framing and character animation and faces are stellar. They're, really good. They're odd and different. They do take that note from Fujimoto of frames and scenes that, are capturing a moment in between moments, in between ideal poses, something like that. That's cool. The OP is straight up hardcore in every way too much for me to parse. There's, these are in the background are they're etchings, right? These are etchings of old etchings of devils and stuff. Streets, spinning stuff. We capture these moments in solid capture, as well as letting them move. Goofy faces. But they're goofing off behind the more serious people. There are all these street signs in the background that aren't just the street signs that are there, but are like Monogatari style aesthetic choices. Everything's simultaneously flat and has like anti-isotropic filtering, whatever you call it. It's got that filter blur to it in all of the layered ways that make it look like it's real lens effects. That's something about this that's interesting to me. It's shot in many ways cinematographically as opposed to animatographically, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the shots are done as though we were in film and actually trying to represent or recreate filmic three-dimensional circumstances, lighting effects, stuff like that. A lot of the background work and 3D stuff feels like that. Okay, that's interesting, because that's really quite odd. Kid Grave holding on to your doggo. That's the one. This face is so Fujimoto. Like, immediately, this just looks like some of the faces from Goodbye Area, and it's very exciting. I don't even know. So they're battling out. He's battling out with Swords Guy, who is like a cop or something, and is his foil nemesis rival type character. Unclear who that actually is underneath. Like, is he a full devil, or is he a partial devil, partial human just like us? Unknown. Who dis? Don't know. But another mix and match? I don't know. Maybe. Going places. Weird shit. Don't even know. Characters moving in strange ways. I don't know what her deal is. She is crazy. That's an angel. I don't understand. That's not Maki. It's not Maki. That seems cute, whatever it is. This is very cute in many ways. There are like all these expressions going on all throughout that are really interesting. I don't really know what they are, and people leaving and coming back and whatever. And she steals her seed and everything. Maybe that is the same person. I don't know. Nope, she stole her seat and comes back and is freaking out. What is that? Oh, stole seat. Hey, you stole my seat. Abba-dabba-da. Maybe if you suck my dick. Maybe if you shine my shoes, I'll let you have it. And then we're like cute feeding. And there's a bunch of stuff going on all at once. Again, reminiscent of Dorohedoro. Also a map of production, so that makes sense, right? All these silly little things and cute bits of animation. Some really stellar overall production quality and animation leverage just all through. Some interesting sexualization that I don't have even close to a problem with. Like, it's allowed to be hot and sexy and all sorts of things. Fucking crazy powers are going to be crazy. And then at core, we have this very human set of moments that are our romantic comfort as this broken, beaten down, distraught child of a human is given a place to rest. And the place to rest is her. And from that grows flowers? It's unclear what exactly that is. And then we have this, zombies coming, and she's totally nonplussed by it. There's this ant or bee here. There's a barrier that I think she puts up. There's the ant or bee here. Chainsaws emerge. And then there's her looking at us, and she frames us differently. She sees that and sees through it. Something like that. Weird fucking snails and shit. I don't know. Her power might be developing things, if she has powers, might be developing things or creating things or growing things or Giorno. This whole action sequence of leaping around buildings is really rad. We'll see it again when we watch it again. I'm happy to see it again. It's really fucking sick. It's some cool action stuff. It also has a really cool set of vibes to it. It's like, we don't care about shooting everything as though it's well lit. We care about shooting everything as though it makes sense in the scene. So the demon and stuff that he's fighting happens in darkness. But we still create all the tension and power and awesomeness of it regardless. And it's pretty cool. And we see this sort of imagery, which is like, to me, this is David going all the way in Cyberpunk. To me, this is Ryuko pushing through her limits. To me, this is Simone overcoming. To me, this is the same screaming. This is Hibiki going full out, right? Like, this is whatever character this is enough to kill you comes at you 100-fold, and you buckle down, square up, and continue driving forward. And what you find is that you are able to grind through it because you're actually really fucking strong. And that's what our character is. Again, when he's on the right balance, when he's justified in his actions and enraged and correctly oriented and violently capable and capable of the viciousness and the necessary straightforwardness and all the things, he's able to cut right through the bullshit regardless of how much there is. And that's really compelling as a core for your protagonist. It's exactly what you want. Exactly what you want for this particular type of story. Now, it's a little bit different from like a Deku, where you've got this generational power and the power is within you and all that stuff. That's a different story. Or when it's Avatar and it's this generational power and the power is within you and it's a compelling thing that you tap into within yourself and it's you being in balance with the outside world as opposed to being in balance with your internal world. This is the introvert's story of self-actualization, perhaps. That might be what it is. Because the extrovert's story of self-actualization is something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where you are the chosen one, and you have all the power of all of history behind you to grasp and grow on, and the only thing that you need to do is figure out how to use that to be in balance with the world and people around you. And we don't delve as much into the integrating with your capacity to be a harmful devil monster that causes death people. Although we do that a bunch through Avatar: The Last Airbender and through Korra, handling our characters' abilities to like go Avatar state and stuff without destroying the stuff around them. It's the same thing. Why is it the same thing? You'll note that I'm not like critical in my estimation of it being the same story. Why not? Well, the fact that you're pretty much the same as me means that we're going to share a lot of experiences. And when I say that we're pretty much the same, I mean you've got a head and 2 arms and 2 legs and a body and 2 parents, probably. There are some exceptions to that, but mostly you've got 2 parents, and you probably, just guessing based on statistics, probably would like a heterosexual relationship at some point in your life, and you might want to have offspring, and you're going to go through life interacting with other 2-legged, 2-armed, 1-headed, flying purple people eater people, and you're going to have to deal with them. And dealing with them in all their wide varieties is going to require you to have some edge to you. And it's going to require you to stand up for yourself. Or you're going to get downtrodden and beaten down and told to eat cigarettes for 100 yen, and you'll happily, yes, please, master, which is what millions of people do to their employers and to their landlords and to the people who have some degree of power over them. And it is power. Like, Denji's in a situation where these people have control over him. They can come and kill him. And they threaten, if you skip town, I'm going to come chop your body parts up. But at any point, he could just walk off into the woods and they wouldn't be able to fucking find him. Right? And I for anyone in the audience listening to me who's thinking, well, yeah, this is all a really cool idea, but I do have a stable job, and I do have things relying on me, and I can't just, I'm stuck. You're probably not as stuck as you think. There are probably options that you haven't considered, and very often, walk off into the woods and camp for a week is one of them. Really, especially in the summer. Like, you're not that beholden to the crushing systems that are destroying you. You're actually really unique and valuable and interesting as a person. And you need to stand up for yourself. It doesn't need to be a flurry of blades and chainsaws. But you do need to be able to stand up for yourself. Man, this is fucking cool. This is pretty cool, guys. Some hammer space girl things with the other girl. I don't know what's up with that. We're all fighting together. Oh, bowling balls. One of their powers is bowling balls. That's what that is. I didn't realize. I didn't figure it out. One of them actually has bowling balls as maybe as a thing with the bowling alley or something. I don't know. Because Cloing Clong, and then she doinks it and he rides it. Fucking rad. I don't even know. And we crack that up out all into the egg, into the room, into the thing, suck back out of it as though it's all a spiral. Because Fujimoto writes his things with the end in mind. Man, and I don't even know what this is. These are like wood spirits or I don't know, they're dancing like a motherfucker. Real bad demons here, for sure. There are real demons, and I really expect that the real demons that we deal with are going to be representative severely of actual real-world threats and problems. We just had the Yakuza, right? As zombie devil. So we have got this creepy but kind of like feminine motherly spider figure that could represent things. Like that's nightmarish. You know, Dark Souls games, all the monsters like really have representative allegorical layers to them. This feels like that. This feels like the design language is strong enough to be representing ideas as devils, demons, characters. That's very fucking cool. And then we've got this guy. So, giant swinging axe chains behind is pretty evocative. It's like systems in some sense, but it's also time and pendulums and things. And then he's all blades, and they're all katana blades or something like that. He reminds me of Alex Louis Arms. Wait, is that Helsing? Alexander Anderson with the knives and the blades and stuff, where he's like a hyper anti-devil person. This guy seems like, if I had to put a name on him, I would name him the all cops are bad devil. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. The police brutality devil. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but he seems to be wearing an outfit that to me is evocative of a position of authority. And that's like and he's identical in many ways to Denji. Right? So maybe they're related or something. It's unclear. It doesn't matter at present. Maybe they're related because they've got very similar power sets or whatever. But he's like the antithesis of what we're currently working with. We are the fringe of society coming to take what's due us, and this guy is in our way. Oh, yeah. So that line is in our way takes me to the place where I'd like to actually wrap us. And I'm going to move toward a wrap here. And that is where he begins to actualize or begins to fight. So I think the core of our story is right here. This is our major turning point and the important moment. This is the moment of choice. The journey starts at the moment when you accept the call to action. The call to action in a case like this, in a journey like this, is an internal one. The call is, I am not acting in line with what I need and want in the world. And the reasoning is, I'm not worth it. I'm not worth fighting for. My body parts aren't worth anything. My time isn't worth anything. My effort isn't worth anything. I'm not worth it. And this might be a thought that you've actually had yourself. You might have considered going on a vacation. Consider going on a vacation. If the idea strikes you as, oh, that's too good for me, then this is where you're at. I'm not worth it. And then he looks at all these people who have destroyed themselves and are destroying the world around him, and have destroyed him, and are trying to destroy him actively. He realizes that everything that they've done and all the torture that they're causing him is because they're each individually seeking something better for themselves. And they've just stepped on him. And he realizes that that is the actual nature of human existence. And then he realizes the most important thing. That's okay. Me too. I strove for more as well, and I resented it in myself, and I didn't believe that I was worth it. That is really where he's at. Right. Everyone has dreams. I guess it's not a bad thing. Oh. Everyone my whole life has really instilled in me, whether they said it outwardly or not, explicitly or not, has acted to me in a way that says, this is all you are. This is what you're worth. Don't dream outside the box, buddy. Don't overstep. So you've come up with the idea reasonably because you've gone through life having your dreams disappointed over and over and over and over. It would be much better to not have them in the first place, right? Better to not dream. Better to not have needs at all. Better to act quiet. Better to be unseen, better to stay on the fringes. And yet, in your heart of hearts, in the heart of every heart, you want the same things. A little bit of comfort, a little bit of connection, a little bit of humanity. Well, if it's not a bad thing for me to want those things, then I'm going to try to go and get them. And if you get in my way, I'm going to fucking end you. And that's exactly the attitude that you should have. Out of my way. I don't have time, because you don't. How many years do you have left? Cut out the years where you're going to be debilitated, where you're going to be old. How many years do you have to get what you want? How long do you have? If you're on the older side of my audience and you're pushing 40 or above and you haven't got it yet, you're running out of time. If you're on the younger side of my audience, if you're under 20, you're running out of time. How long do you have to get what you want? Go. Stop listening to me. Go. I'm doing it. That's what this is. This is me getting it. Every day that I'm here, churning out videos, making really good content to the best of my ability, watching the numbers on my Patreon grow, building up my asset base, I'm doing it. Stop watching me. Go do it. Thank you. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But stay out of my fucking way. And it all comes together, and he bursts forth. And it's a fucking catharsis. It's a good catharsis, right? So that's it. And as soon as you turn the tables, you realize that you have the power. The Yakuza tentacle monster doesn't have the power over you. It has what power you give it. Denji gave all his power away to everyone around him. Don't make that mistake. Get your chainsaws out, baby. Whip. This is fucking sick. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. There's early access on the Patreon for the next week's episode. Peace, y'all. Much love. Peace.